Hey teachers, good morning. I am so excited to be here with y'all today. I'm kind of sad though because this is our last day together. Oh, I really enjoyed this week with connecting with you guys and getting to know you and answering your questions and helping you along this journey to transform your writing block into something that you are proud of. And I hope that you have come away this week with lots of new ideas. I hope that you are inspired to try new things in your classroom in January. So come on in and say good morning. And I would love to know what's been your favorite part of this reboot. So go ahead and comment below and tell us what your favorite part was that you are going to implement in your classroom. So today's lesson is number 5, and it's all about visualizing my new story, and I cannot wait to share with you what this looks like. Now, some of you are already in my big Facebook group called Create Your Balance with Literacy, but I want to invite everybody who is not in my big Facebook group to make sure that you join, because on Sunday, I'm going to be giving a free webinar all about cross-curricular fun for January, okay? Every single month, I give free webinars in my Facebook group, and they're all about the month that follows. And so I give cross-curricular fun every single month, and I also give away free resources if you're commenting, okay, during the webinar. So if you are not a member of my Facebook group, Create Your Balance with Literacy, make sure that you join. I made a post in our Facebook group a couple days ago about that. So you guys that are already members, I'm so happy that you're in there. And if you're not, go ahead and make sure that you join. So let's reflect on yesterday's training, and I want to know something that you learned that you're going to try. Good morning, Janina. So glad you're here. And so some of the things that you could tell us what resonated with you yesterday. Organizing your mentor text. Tell us if that's something that you're going to try. Or how to do teacher conferencing. Tell us something that you're going to try. Or a morning meeting sand timer. Or maybe snowman adjectives. Okay. And let us know in the comments something that you're going to try. So Alyssa says, my favorite part has been all of the great resources and the Q&A during the live videos. Everything has been super great this week. Oh, Alyssa, that's so great. I'm so happy that you have been here. That's amazing. And I did get your question, Alyssa, from yesterday, so I have it at the end here, okay? So I'll answer that. And then Gina says, I'm going to try using the sand timers. Okay, that's awesome. Some great little tips and tricks for you guys there. All right, so today's mentor text is all about sky color, okay? So sky color is by Peter Reynolds, and that's going to be our main focus for today. So these are the 5 stories that I have gone over yesterday or this week. The stories were the North Star, Say Something, the Word Collector, and the Dot, and then today is Sky Color. Hey Heather, I'm so glad you're here. And if you're just hopping on, tell us something that has really been exciting for you this week that you've learned. That would be awesome, so we can celebrate you. So today's objective is we can visualize and create a mental image for our new story. And this is what it looks like at a glance. Okay, and this is why I picked Sky Color. For the mini lesson number 5, I chose Sky Color from Peter Reynolds to teach visualizing. The objective for this lesson is I can visualize and create my mental image for my new story. Sometimes it's easy for us to visualize our new story in our head, but for others to visualize our story, it might be difficult. So creating the colors and details that you need for your story could be a challenge. Your goal is to recreate the same magic movie in your head so others can see what you are visualizing. In this story, the character wants to make the sky color but doesn't have blue paint. So she goes and researches different types of sky colors. She decides to make the sunset using all the other colors that she has. For example, red, orange, yellow, and gold. She created a beautiful sky color by mixing her colors and creating new colors. I've created a skill card that describes what visualization is and 3 interactive notebook templates for your students to create the cover of their story. This gives them room to be creative and mix the colors to create their canvas. All right. So Heather says, I like the idea of the student dictionaries and the word banks. Oh, that's great, Heather. I love it. I love it. So here is visualizing lesson number 5 at a glance. You have 3 different interactive notebooks to choose from. You have 2 different anchor charts today that I'm going to share with you. We have explicit directions and we have a skill card about visualizing. So here is the I do, we do, and you do. For the I do, you're going to show your students the anchor chart of visualization. You're going to read it to them and show them what creating a mental image looks like. You're going to say, boys and girls, have you ever read a book without pictures? Or you could say, have I ever read you a story without pictures? I read Magic Tree House a lot, so they know. Have you ever thought of the pictures that are in your mind? Well, guess what? That is a mental image. You are visualizing. You are making a magic movie in your mind of the story. We're going to practice today making a magic movie. So you're going to hand out a Post-it note and you're going to say, while I'm reading Sky Color, I want you to illustrate something that you are visualizing from the story. So when you're reading the story, you don't have to show them the pictures right away. Hide the pictures and then have them illustrate. You can even have a specific part of the story where the part where she's illustrating the sunset using the different colors. You could have them illustrate a part of the story, and then after they're finished drawing, you could show them the picture and the actual book, and then see if they're close with their magic movie. So that could be the I do. That could be the first day. The second day is the we do. Okay. You could have them illustrate a part of the story, again, a different part. And to help with this, make sure you don't show the pictures right away. Give them a chance to draw first and then show the pictures. If you want them to draw a specific part of the story, that's fine too. And after they draw their picture, ask them to come up one by one and post their pictures on your anchor chart. You're going to review what the students drew and see if they were close to the pictures that the character drew in the story. You could also have them turn and tell each other and compare each other's pictures with each other and turn and tell. That would be awesome. And then for the you do part, you're going to hand out the interactive notebook. It's called Visualizing My Story. There's 3 different ones. You're going to tell your students that today they will be creating a mental image of the cover of their first story. Now that you've thought about your goal, your characters, your problem and solution, we've added new words that we're going to use in our story. It's time to think of a title of your new story and illustrate the cover. Let's bring your story to life. Okay, so there's 3 differentiated notebooks that you can choose from depending on their writing level. And remember, always have an example of a finished template to show your class what your expectations are. So you can use my example or you can use your own. And while they're working on their template, you're going to set the stage for the writer's workshop. Put on some soft music. You can either sit at your teacher table and call the students up to you, or you can walk around and help. You're going to pick the best one to show the class for a compliment for the author's chair. So reflection at the end is the same as before. You're going to have them sit on the carpet with their notebook. If they're not finished, that is okay. They're going to still sit on the carpet anyway, so they can look to see what expectations are and who's going to show theirs today. So here's an example of my visualizing cover. I said My Mountain Adventure by Kara Rickman. So this could be an example that you could use on your document camera if you want, okay? Or you can make your own if you want to, but you're welcome to use mine. It's also in the lesson plan, so you can use it. So the colored dots, again, the red is the kindergarten, the green is the first grade, and the yellow is the second grade. So there's 3 different ones. The red one, it says illustrate the cover of your book. So it's all it is a canvas. And I have girls and boys that you can choose from. Boys get boys, girls get girls. And so they're going to illustrate the cover. That's all they're going to do for kindergarten. For first grade, they're going to illustrate the cover and they're going to write the title of the story. They're going to think of a title. For second grade, they're going to illustrate the cover. They're going to write the title and they're going to write a summary. They're going to write a summary, okay? Now, I already have some kids that I know that are going to use the yellow one where they're going to write a summary of their story. They're going to tell about what happened. This is also a good place where they could write beginning, middle, and end of their story if they want to. So I already know that I'm going to have some greens and I'm going to have some yellows because they all need to already know the title of their story, okay? So those are the 3 ones that you can choose from. These are the anchor charts that you can choose from today. There's 2 different ones. There's an anchor chart that says when we visualize, we make a picture in our mind based on what is read or told. So I have a picture of a girl and she's visualizing the beach. And it says it was a beautiful day at the beach. So that's what she's visualizing. Another thing you could do, which is really fun, is that you can use the sensory pictures. So like, what do I see? What do I taste? What do I feel? What do I hear? What do I smell? Okay, let's visualize. So what I had them do before is I've had them visualize winter. Okay, to practice, we're going to visualize winter. What do we see in winter? Well, we see a snowman, so they could draw a snowman. What do I taste in winter? Taste hot chocolate, so they could draw hot chocolate. What do I feel in winter? You feel mittens that are soft and cozy on your hands, so they could draw mittens or whatever they think. What do I smell? I smell the fire in the fireplace. What do I hear? I hear the snow falling. Okay? So those are some things that you could visualize. If you want them to specifically draw pictures of something that they visualized in the story about sky color, that is fine too. So you're going to decide what they're going to draw on their Post-it notes. They're going to come up to the anchor chart and then they're going to post their pictures. Let them decide what they want to draw. Let them decide if they want to draw something they hear, something they taste, something they smell, something they see. Let them decide which one they're going to draw and then you can post them up there. You might have a lot of kids that choose what do they see. You might have some that don't choose what do they hear. And if you don't have some that choose one, you could maybe do it for yourself, or you could have the class tell you what they think that you could draw for that one. Okay? Okay. Are you ready for the next step? For those who want to take a deeper dive into starting Writer's Workshop, I'm inviting you to check out my course. My course is called From Scribbles to Stories, How to Launch Writer's Workshop from Day 1. So what happens next? Okay, after lesson number 5, all of these things that I'm showing you today is all in my course called From Scribbles to Stories, okay? Now stay tuned to the end today because I have a special offer for you that you could check out if you're interested. I also have a Q&A at the end. And also, we are going to raffle off some names to win either a free Metro Text by Peter Reynolds or TBT or Amazon gift card. So stay tuned to the end. So All of these things that I'm showing you right now are things that I teach in my course. Okay, so if you're interested, make sure if you're multitasking, come back to me. Okay, so what happens next? Students are going to start brainstorming their new story. So this is my brainstorming template. They're going to write the characters, the setting, the problem, solution, when does the story take place, and how does the story end. Okay, this is the first step of the writing process. This is brainstorming, okay? Now you're going to have all your kids start on the same page on the same day, because let's say that you taught lessons 1 through 5. On lesson number 6, whatever day that might be day 10, I don't know, depending on your schedule and depending on how fast you're doing these lessons. Let's say that you're on day 10 and you want them to start their brainstorming page. Everybody's going to be on the same page at the very beginning. But then this is where the writer's workshop takes off, okay? So then everybody is going to be on a different steps. You're going to have some kids that complete this page really quickly, your high flyers, and then others are going to stay on this page for maybe 2 or 3 days because they're going to need help in scaffolding from you. They're going to need help writing words from their dictionary, okay? And so let the high flyers take off. Just let them take off, okay? And so every day now you are showing them a different step of the writing process. You're showing them different steps. The first day you could show them the brainstorming page and make sure they know where to get this page so they know, okay, if I mess up, I'm going to go get a new one, or when I publish my story, I'm going to go back to brainstorming. So make sure you have a system. I showed you my organizational banker's box that I have with all the papers, and make sure they know where to get these pages, okay? All right, so that's brainstorming. First draft would be the second day. You can teach them this. Not everybody is going to be on the first draft yet, okay? You are going to have some kids that are on first draft that are going to take off. And so I always challenge them to write a whole page. This is when you're going to start writing your story, okay? You can give them a head start and give them a sentence stem. One day I was, or once there was a, you're going to give them something to start with, and then they can just go on from there, okay? Or if they're writing an informational story, let's say they're writing about the weather, then you could say, well, this is a really great time for you to go to the library, go to our class library, go find a book about weather, and let's do some research, okay? So they're going to write first draft. I tell them they can write as many pages as they want to. They don't just have to write one page. This is where you can really tell who is going to be independent and who is not, okay? The independent ones, the high flyers, are just going to take off. They're going to have so much fun. They're going to want to write all day long because they're writing their own topic and their own genre. Trust me on this. I've done this for 25 years, and I know. The third day, you're going to teach them how to do a student conference, okay? This is also what I teach in the course. This is what it looks like. The two kids are sitting together. They're reading their stories together. And in the course, I specifically tell you how to get them to whisper, how you get them to be accountable for each other, how to do the checklist. Okay? So the checklist is they're going to write their partner's name. I read my story to my partner. They put a check. My partner circled 8 words that are misspelled. Put a check. My partner checked to see if I have all my capitals. Put a check. My partner checked to see if I have my punctuation. They put a check. My partner gave me a compliment about my story. You put a check. And my partner said thank you for the conference, and they put a check. This is really great for rigor and relevance because they are rating their own stories. They're talking about them. They're giving compliments and suggestions. Then the fourth day, you're going to talk about proofreading. Proofreading is whenever they make a list of words that their student conference partner talked about or circled in their story. In the course, I talk to you more specifically about how to get them to circle 8 words, and they're going to fix their words from their dictionary, so they're going to make a list. And then teacher conference. I talked a little bit about this the other day, about how I call up some kids 4 at a time at my teacher table, and then they fill out this checklist about teacher conference, and they are putting check marks next to, did you complete brainstorming? Check. Did you complete first draft? Check. Did you complete student conference? And then I talked about this the other day. So this is what it looks like for teacher conference. So if you missed that training, you might want to go back and listen to it. I think that was day 3. And then editing and revision. I teach you about all the different parts of editing and revision, and they're going to copy their story onto second draft. And this is where they're going to make changes in their story. They're going to fix their spelling when they're rewriting their story. They're going to maybe add parts of their story, or they're going to take away parts of their story. And I teach you how to do all this in the course. And then they're going to circle the capitals. They're going to circle the periods. We're going to number the sentences. We're going to underline and make patterns in their sentences. And then final draft, I have different templates for them to choose from. They're going to illustrate a picture at the top with a 1 sentence on each page. And this is the part where they can really be creative. They can visualize their picture. They can reuse lots of details. They're going to write parts of their story on their final draft. I only have them write 1 sentence per each page, because that's why we number the sentences on their second draft. So if they have 20 sentences on second draft, they have 20 pages in their story. If they have 10 sentences in their second draft, they have 10 pages in their story. Publishing, I teach you how to do the title page, dedication page, and about the author page. And then those are going to get stapled into their new book. And so I teach you how to do that, and I tell you about different parts of the title page they can write, how to write their dedication page, how to write their author's page, and the compliment page as well. And I also teach you how to do the author's chair in the course. And then the last part is going to be the self-assessment page. It's my favorite part of my story. They're going to write their favorite part. If I could change one thing, it would be, and then they rate their piece as great, very good, okay, or yuck. And you'd be surprised. Some kids, they are really honest and they check yuck. They don't like their story. So that's why we talk about, if I could change one thing, what would it be? So the next time, whenever they go back to brainstorming, they can make their story better. This is a letter to the parents that goes home with the kids whenever they publish. It says, "Dear Mom and Dad, guess what? I published my book today. Isn't it terrific? I'm so excited to share my book with you. After I read it, please sign a compliment on the compliment page. Do you see my gold star? Isn't it great? I got to read my published book to the class. They gave me a compliment and suggestions and gave me questions about my story. I went through the whole writing process to publish my book. Brainstorming, first draft, student conference, proofreading, teacher conference, editing and revision, final draft, and publishing. Please return my book in the clear plastic folder tomorrow, and I will get to hang it in the publishing pouches in the classroom. I love Writer's Workshop." Love, and then they put their name at the bottom. Okay? So in the course, each module contains a workbook, which is assignments and preparation for you to take notes. They have training videos about 10 to 30 minutes long for each module. I have YouTube videos of my classroom and my students doing Writer's Workshop. I have blog posts explaining with more details and photos, and I have writing resources that match each module or bonuses. So you have about 20 different, actually more than that, you have about 50 different writing resources that you can download for the course. So I'm going to go through each module with you so you know what each module has. Module number 1 is an intro to training and a training overview. Let me go over here real quick. Module number 2 is the Balanced Literacy Framework, which is the gradual release of responsibility. Module 3 is materials and organization. Module 4 is how to teach the process writing. Module 5 is mini lessons that foster great writers. Module 6 is templates and resources. Module 7 is publishing an author's chair. Module 8 is wrap up and get started. Bonus number 1 is the first 10 days of launching, which is a personal narrative unit. This would be for the very first beginning of school. Bonus number 2 is how to set up your writing center. Bonus 3 is fairy tale writing unit. Bonus 4 is persuasive writing unit. Bonus 5 is procedural writing unit. Bonus 6 is informational and research writing unit. Bonus 7 is behavior management. Bonus 8 is how I teach writing and math. And bonus 9 is how I teach writing cross-curricular. Okay? So what is the cost? So the value of the course is $500, but it's for you guys, you get it for $150 with 6 payments of $25 a month. Once you purchase, you will get immediate access to the course within 7 days. If you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. So there's two options. You can pay 6 payments of $25, or you can pay the $150 all at one time. So you have two options that you can choose from. So Module 1 is Intro and Training Overview, and it tells all about me. Module 2 is the Gradual Release of Responsibility. I even break this down for you and talk to you day by day, like what do I do on Monday? What do I do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And I talk to you about when do I do the I do, when do I do the we do, and then different things like that. So I go in much details about that. Module number 3 is Materials and Organization. I talk to you about how I make my anchor charts, how I make my dictionary, how I set up my author's chair, how I organize my mentor text. Well, module number 4 is how to teach the writing process. I go through all the different ways that you can teach the writing process for each lesson and the templates that you can use, how to make the Writer's Workshop poster, and how to organize your writing folder. Module 5 is Many Lessons That Foster Great Writers. This is where I talk to you about different mentor texts that I use for different lessons. I tell you about 4 or 5 different of my favorite lessons that I do. And I also talk to you about interactive notebooks that you could use for these lessons with mentor text and anchor charts. Module 6 is more templates and resources that I use for interactive notebooks and skill cards, vocabulary cards, the student conference wheel, and all that good stuff that you can make. Module 7 is Publishing an Author's Chair, how I get my students to read their stories in the author's chair, how to make a publishing wall, how I teach my kids how to read, how to teach my kids how to make compliments and suggestions and questions. Module 8 is how to get started. So I have a list of things to copy for you, a list of things to make. You're going to make your own list, your own things to consider and things to copy. Okay, because that's really important, because it's a lot of things to get ready for. So I go over in detail about all those things. And then bonus number 1 is a personal narrative unit. And I talk to you in detail about tiny moments, how to teach your kids about tiny moments. Remember, a tiny moment is a snapshot of your life. I think I mentioned that a couple of times in the training. And then I talk to you about interactive notebooks that they can use, and writing templates for writing beginning, middle, and end, and mentor text that you can use for that. Bonus number 2 is how to set up your writing center. I love having a writing center in my classroom. These are templates that you can use for your writing center, and I have a video that goes through in detail how to set up your writing center, how to use your bulletin board, how to use I Can cards. Bonus number 3 is a fairy tale writing unit. Again, I talk to you about how to set up your fairy tale writing unit, how to have a fairy tale ball at the very, very end, vocabulary cards, a publishing wall with all the fairy tale books in it, and how to teach your fairy tale writing unit. Bonus number 4 is persuasive writing unit, your opinion writing, how to get your kids to write your opinion writing, interactive notebooks, and skill cards, and writing craftivities that you can use in the spring for persuasive writing unit. Bonus number 5 is procedural writing unit, how to get your kids to write procedural writing. I have a kitchen center in my classroom that goes over procedural writing every single month. I change it out. You have a skill card, you have writing craftivities, and I have a classroom transformation for a pizzeria that you can learn how to do, and I'll give you tips and tricks for that. Bonus number 6 is informational and research writing. I teach you how to make lap books and how to teach your kids how to do research. I have endangered animal research. I have Texas animal research. And so I talk to you about informational text and nonfiction text features, how to get your kids to do research on PebbleGo or Seesaw or different websites that you can have them go and research, and then have them research from your library. Bonus number 7 is behavior management. This is where I teach you all about how to use bonus books, how to have a star student of the week, how to use a social contract, how to use your star student as your peer facilitator in your class. So I talk to you in depth about behavior management and how to have a farm contest or desk contest in your class. Bonus number 8 is how I teach writing and math. I love to teach my kids how to write story problems. So I have a booklet of how to write story problems. I have sentence starters. I have mini lessons, all kinds of tips and tricks to how to teach your kids how to write in math. Bonus number 9 is teaching writing cross-curricular. This is where the word bank comes in with science and social studies. I have different word banks already prepared for you, so you could just print them out and laminate them, put them on your pocket chart. And so I teach you how to teach writing cross-curricular in science and social studies with different writing craftivities. So I understand that making this decision can be a huge step. So if you purchase the course and you're not satisfied with it, you will get your money back guaranteed after 7 days. Don't take my word for it. Let's take a closer look at what others are saying about my course. So my teacher testimonials are, Terry says, I love all your resources and trainings. I am so excited to use so many of your ideas and resources in my first grade classroom. I have learned so much from you. Thank you, Kara. And Dawn says, I have used many of your resources and the kids are very engaged. My favorites are the writing activities and the book activities. They're so easy to prep and teach. Thank you, Dawn. Melissa says, how do you get your class to be so quiet? They are amazing. You are amazing. And then Paula says, wow, you broke the steps down perfectly. I can finally see how my students can be on the different steps at all the times, different times. It finally makes sense to me. And then Ashley says, I'm absolutely in love with this training. I feel like I have a much better grasp on teaching writing next year. It is so super organized, and I feel like I can take the information and use it to suit my kids. Thank you so much for this training. Okay? So my special offer for you is that the course that I have from Scribbles to Stories is also in my membership level 2. And guess what, guys? It's only $1 for 7 days. Okay? Level 1 is $20 a month. Level 2 is $25 a month. You have 450 plus TPT resources in level 1, level 2. You have 3 courses, and one of the courses for level 2 is From Scribbles to Stories that you can only get for $1, guys. Only $1 for 7 days. After 7 days, if you want to cancel, no strings attached, I promise. Okay? You can cancel. But if you love what you're getting, then you can be charged the full amount, either level 1 for $20 or level 2 for $25. Okay? That is up to you. That is my special offer for you because the Scribbles to Stories course is only in the level 2 membership, so you could check it out. You have a whole week to check it out for only $1. That is so awesome. So I would snag it if you're interested. So for this training that you have this week, you get a 5-hour certificate, okay? So what I'm going to do is, this is an example. I'm going to put all of these certificates in the Facebook group. I'm going to upload them in the file section, okay? So you guys can check it out. You can print them out if they have your names on them. It says 5 CPE hours. And so if you're interested in printing those out, that is up to you, okay? Oh, thanks, Janina. Level 2 is so worth it. Thank you so much for saying that. That is awesome. Okay, so we have a Q&A. We have a question from Alyssa, and I think Alyssa is here today listening. She says, hi, Kara, I had a question. How do you help your students with brainstorming in the writing process? Do you have them use circle maps? Do you have any tips for helping them brainstorm? Thank you. Okay, Alyssa, that's a great question. I have different brainstorming sheets for different genres. Okay, so for Writer's Workshop, I have a generic one that my students know specifically to use for their free choice of topic or genre. For other genres, for example, I have procedural or persuasive. I have specific brainstorming templates that I give them to start. So remember, if you're doing specific prompts, you can do that during science or social studies. Okay, so here's some examples. I have my brainstorming page, which I shared with you right here. Okay, so my brainstorming page has the characters, setting, problem, solution, when, and how. So when would be, when does the story take place? And how does the story take place? I have a TPT resource with all of these templates that I shared with you for brainstorming, first draft, student conference, proofreading, teacher conference. I have a TPT resource that I will link in the Facebook group today. If you're interested in checking that out, it's $25. Okay. So you can check it out if you want all the templates. It also has the dictionary in it. It has the mentor text, suggested mentor text for each step of the writing process that you can read. It has lesson plans. It has interactive notebooks for grammar, for nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions. So that is a really great resource that I can link in the Facebook group later on today. Now, for example, if you want your kids to do writing craftivities, research, biography, persuasive, procedural, I have all of these templates. They're all in my TPT store, okay? This is my New Year's resolution for 2025. They're going to write 4 goals, and then they're going to write a story about their 4 goals with a writing craftivity. Or I have I'm as unique as a snowflake. I'm unique because this is great for personal narrative. And then they're going to write about how they're unique, like a snowflake, because snowflakes are all different. There's no two alike. I read them about Snowflake Bentley in January, and then we write about how we're unique as a snowflake. And that is a writing craftivity that I do with them. I also have them write facts about Snowflake Bentley. Here's a brainstorming page for that. Fact number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we write about Snowflake Bentley, and then we have a writing craftivity that we put, I put in my hallway, okay? So to answer your question, Alyssa, my brainstorming pages are all different depending on the genre or the prompt that you're having them do. However, the brainstorming page that is for Writer's Workshop, let me go back real quick. The brainstorming page for Writer's Workshop is always the same, okay? So let me go back to this one real quick here. So all these pages that you're seeing that I went through today are all going to be in right here. They're all going to be in that Writer's Workshop resource. It's called Write From Your Heart, and I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. It's from my TPT store, so you guys can check it out. It's $25, but like I said, it has all of these templates, and it has lesson plans in it that you can use. It has suggested mentor texts that you can use. I have photographs of my kids. And by the way, yesterday I made a post in the Facebook group of all of my YouTube videos of my class doing Writer's Workshop. So I made a video. There's a video of them doing student conference. There's a video of me teaching a mini lesson. So you guys might want to go back into the Facebook group later on today when you have time, and then you can check those YouTube videos out, okay? That would be amazing, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and have a raffle today. We're going to have a raffle, and I've got some names that you guys, people that submitted a question in our Facebook group. So I have a cup. This is not rigged, I promise. I have a cup of names. So if I call your name, you can decide if you want to win a free Peter Reynolds mentor text. If you love one of the mentor texts that I taught you this week, and you really, really, really want one of those mentor texts, I can send it to you on Amazon. Okay? I can buy it for you. And I've done that many, many times with other teachers before. So I know that Janina has won a mentor text, and Jelaine has won a mentor text. And I think Allison has won one too. So our name that we're going to win, the name we're going to raffle today is Valerie. Yay, Valerie! So Valerie, if you're listening today, Valerie is going to win either a $20 TPT Amazon or $20 TPT or Amazon gift card, or she can win a free Peter Reynolds mentor text. Okay, so Valerie, you can let me know in the comments which one you would like. Okay, that is so exciting. That is awesome. So Thank you guys so much for joining me today, or this week actually, for my Writers Workshop Reboot. Remember to share my training with your teacher colleagues if they're interested in learning more about Writers Workshop. I would love to have them join this Facebook group. Okay, I will put the link in the comments for them to register if they're interested. Oh, you're welcome, Melissa. I'm so glad that you have been here this week, and I'm glad that you answered your question for you. So this Facebook group is going to be open until January 18th. Now, just because my live training is done today doesn't mean that we're finished, okay? You guys can still ask me questions in the Facebook group, okay? You can still post questions anytime between now and January the 18th, okay? So if you have a burning question, something that you want to ask me about my membership, about my course, about how I teach certain things for Writers Workshop, if you want suggested mentor text for a certain skill, or if you want to know how I teach verbs or how I teach adjectives or anything like that, I have blog posts that I can link for you. I have a podcast that I can link for you. My podcast is called Create Your Balance with Literacy. Follow me on my podcast. I would love that. Okay. Follow me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Create Your Balance with Literacy. It's all the same name. Okay. That's my brand. And so I also have a blog, Create Your Balance with Literacy. So you guys can follow me on all of those different platforms. Okay. I also have a newsletter that I send out every week on Sundays. Okay. In my newsletter, I have a freebie. I have a dollar deal. I have a BOGO, buy one, get one free. I have a blog post of the week, YouTube video of the week. I have a podcast episode of the week. I have upcoming webinar information for my big Facebook group that I have, Create Your Balance with Literacy. And I have a tip of the week in my newsletter. So if you're interested in signing up for my newsletter, I'm going to put a link down below that you can sign up, okay? And don't forget to download all the resources that I'm sharing with you this week, okay? You have until January 18th to download all of the videos, okay? All the videos that I have done this week, you can download. All of the files that I have uploaded for you guys, you can download for free, and those are all in there for you. There's lots of great files, guys. There's lots of great stuff in there. Okay, take advantage of it. Take advantage, okay? I'm also going to send out a Google form this afternoon. I'm going to make a Google form. I'm going to send out a Google form for you guys, and I have a couple questions that I'm going to ask you on the Google form, okay? I'm going to ask you something that was really great about this training. I'm going to ask you a suggestion how to make this training better. I'm going to ask you if you're on my newsletter, my email list for my newsletter, and I can add you to my email list if you're not on it, okay? So I would love to have you on my email list. Remember that if you are not part of my big Facebook group, don't forget to join, okay? So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mwah. I love you guys very much. And remember that you can always ask me questions up until January 18th, okay? So until next time, let's take your classroom to the next level. Love you guys. Have a great week. Mwah. Bye-bye.